Hello, and welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged, where today I will be taking a look at UK Season 3. Let's go. Before the actual critiques, I will be changing up the format of how I judge this a bit to try and avoid having the first third of the video be dedicated to me critiquing a single episode. So, the first queen of note is Anubis. The first look, I understand what she was going for. It is a very good concept. The execution was not there though. It is one of the least flattering runways anyone has ever worn. The hair is a bit messy, the sleeves are not well executed, and I don't like what's going on in the middle. I don't know fashion terms. The second category is your favorite thing. Anubis's favorite thing is clearly Penny's. It is not a good look, it is not well executed, it's just a dress that she threw a net over. I know Penny's are not her favorite thing, but like, you could have fooled me. The next queen of note is Charity Case. Her first runway is one of the coolest things we have ever seen. The mask is really well done going into the headpiece. I love the gloves with the little like thorn fingernails. Absolutely incredible. So well executed. I think this look is a 10 out of 10. Charity has such a unique drag style and I love looking at it so much. For her favorite things look, she chose freak shows. Interesting choice, but the execution is great. I don't know how she was able to execute these two makeup jobs so close to one another. She is so skilled as a makeup artist. There's a few styling choices that I personally wouldn't have done. It is still a very good look. This one is like, I'd say a 9.5 out of 10. It's so close. Next, we have Electra Fence. The hair is interesting. This look is just not good. It is very much on the basic side, and the makeup, like the smudging, seems kind of like an afterthought. Electra's favorite thing is her birthday. This look does a very good job of showing that. Even if I didn't have it written down in front of me, I still would have known her favorite thing was her birthday. The issue is the execution. It is kind of all over the place and not in like a fashionable way or a good way. I don't know why it took me so long to find that word, but it's just kind of messy. The next queen of note is Crystal Versace. I think she did a great job. This is some of the best face painting we have ever seen. I think all of the accessories and details just work perfectly. This is an incredible look. Her favorite thing is cats. This look definitely shows that. It is a very good execution. Her mug is beautiful. I know the judges kinda overhyped Crystal on this season. This runway package on this episode could not be underhyped. It was absolutely perfect. Next is River Medway. Her Thomas Waghorn runway is not a good look, but it was presented really well. That definitely will keep her out of the bottom. I also think the traffic cone hair, it could have been executed a bit better, but it was still a good job. As for her favorite thing, it is music. This is not a good execution of that theme. It is very much on the basic side. The first look is honestly pretty fine. Next is Scarlet Harlot. I don't know how she was in the top. Her first look is good. The makeup is nice, the hair is nice, the dress is good, it was fine. Her second look, music, this is incredibly messy. I kinda get what she was going for. It just wasn't well executed. It was fine. It just shouldn't have been in the top. Next is Veronica Green. It is evident that her budget has definitely suffered. Neither one of these looks is good. The second look was going to be her Day at the Seaside runway. It definitely works for that. As for a video games runway, I don't really think it works. There are much better directions she could have gone in. Overall, just kind of an underwhelming start for Veronica as a returning queen, although I know the financial strain she went through because of COVID, so I'm not going to blame her that much. The final queen of note is Victoria Scone. It is a Cardiff daffodil. She is absolutely beautiful. She knows how beautiful she looked in this. The pants are great. I think the collar she had works really well. The petals could have been a choice. There were other ways that could have done that. They were not a bad choice though. This definitely works. It just had a lot of risk. Finally, Victoria's favorite thing is afternoon tea. This look definitely shows that. There's a couple tweaks that I would have made, but it's still very well executed. Her makeup is beautiful. I love all the little details. This is a great showing. For the actual judging, we are going to have Theresa May, Ella Vidae, Kitty Scott-Claus, River Medway, Scarlet Harlot, and Vanity Milan as safe. The top 3 are Charity Case, Crystal, and Victoria, with the top 2 of the week being Crystal and Victoria. They lip sync to Total Eclipse of the Heart, and Crystal wins. Veronica is low, leaving Elektra and Anubis in the bottom. Elektra and Anubis lip sync to Sweet Melody. Great lip sync on Elektra's part. She wins, and Anubis is eliminated. We were able to get through episode 1 in 6 minutes this time instead of 8, so we're definitely getting there. Episode 2 is Dragaton. I kind of repressed this one as far as challenges go. Not good. It was not good. I did not enjoy this. Teresa, Ella, River, Scarlet, and Victoria are all safe. Crystal, Kitty, and Veronica are the top 3, with Kitty getting the win. The bottom 3 are Charity, Elektra, and Vanity. Charity is low, being saved by her runway, leaving Vanity and Elektra to lip sync to Moving On Up. It is one of the best lip syncs of the season. Elektra does way too much, and Vanity really hits the energy of the song. Vanity wins, and Elektra is eliminated. Unfortunately, we will be losing Victoria Scone here due to the injuries she sustained in the episode 1 lip sync. I feel really bad for her, but I'm glad she was able to come back and slay. Next is the episode 3 design challenge. Once again, I'll just talk about the queens of note. We do not want to see me talking about runways for 8 straight minutes again. Charity's first look, which is Happy Camper, is absolutely insane. I do not know what is going on. It is a murderous bunny. Incredible theme, incredible execution. I'm at a loss for words at Charity yet again. Her second look is fine. It is not the best thing. It is styled pretty well. It just needed a fair amount more time to get all the way there. Theresa May had an all-around fine performance here. Her first look, I don't know if it's a reference I'm not getting, but it's just a solid, 6 out of 10. Her second look, though, the story behind this, at least for me, rivals Kennedy's Death Becomes Her look. It is so funny, so unhinged. If this season had been watched more, I think it would be viewed at the same level. Very, very funny. Ella Vidae was there in this challenge. She wore runways and she made a look and wore it for herself. Kitty Scott-Claus had a very good Happy Camper look. I love the badges. I love the presentation. Very good job. Her second look, I just don't like it. It doesn't really fit the theme, and I don't think it looks finished. It needs a lot more work, and unfortunately, it just didn't get there. Next is Crystal Versace. I think it is a very well executed look. Hair is great. The mug, as always, is beautiful, and I think the badges are very nice. Her second look is great. This is really well done. I know a lot of people compared her to Aquaria for this. Since this look is similar to something Aquaria wore, I think it is different enough to definitely be in the top. Great execution, great makeup. Crystal in the first stretch of the season was great. Next is Scarlet Harlot. Her first look is just kind of middle of the road. Her second look is incredible. I didn't think it would turn out this well. She didn't think it would turn out this well. It turned out great though. This is a wonderful look, and honestly, Scarlett's best performance of the season. Next is Vanity Milan. I love her so much. She is an incredible queen. This was just not a good showing for her. Her first look was way too much fabric. It just overshadowed everything. Her second look was kinda stiff and crunchy almost. It just didn't really look finished, but the finished product still wouldn't have brought it together. Her sewing skills just weren't that great this season, unfortunately. Next is Veronica Green. Her first runway is definitely something. Her second runway is just a mess. I think the makeup and the hands are a very cool idea. The execution is just not there for this look. It's simply way too much going on for this runway. They have the butterfly wings, the different fabrics and materials making up the dress. It is just way too much going on here. I know a lot of people said I hate Veronica Green after the last video. That is not true. I do like Veronica. I just didn't like her challenge performances, and I don't like this one either. For the actual judging, Theresa May, Ella Vidae, and River Medway are all safe. The top 3 are going to be Charity, Crystal, and Scarlett. For the win, I'm switching it from Scarlett to Crystal. I think Crystal had a much more cohesive runway package, and I think Crystal's first look is by far better than Scarlett and Charity's. Crystal gets the win here. For the bottom 3, we have Kitty, Vanity, and Veronica Green. Kitty is going to be low. I think her Girl Scout look saves her, leaving Vanity and Veronica to lip sync to I Got the Music in Me. Vanity is going to stay with Veronica and Victoria both leaving us in this episode. I think this was the point in the actual season that a lot of people started to stop watching because things were getting ridiculous, and I hope that my judging going forward at least helps to stop that. Next is the episode 4 girl groups challenge. It is BDE, probably the weakest girl groups challenge of the franchise. Huge disappointment after UK Hun. The team of Teresa, Ella, River, and Vanity are all the winners. They all did a good, not great job. It's just the other team happened to do worse than them. Now things get interesting for the bottom queens. So, Kitty Scott Claus, definitely best in the group, is gonna be safe. That's good. Everyone's good with that. Scarlett Harlot is the worst in her group and will be in the bottom. Once again, everything is fine. Now, Charity and Crystal's runways for this episode are so incredibly different. They go in such different directions that it really could go either way. Crystal's performance was better. Charity's verse was more interesting than Crystal's. Charity's runway goes way outside of the box for the theme, while Crystal does the theme perfectly. Either one of them could easily be low here over the other. It is one of the closest judging calls ever. This easily could change depending on what drag style you prefer. Everything in mind though, Charity is going to be low and Crystal will be ever so slightly in the bottom over her. Crystal and Scarlett lip sync to Who Do You Think You Are. Charity was able to mop the floor with Scarlett. When I say that Crystal would take Scarlett to the cleaners, there are no words, Scarlett is gone. Next is the Snatch Game. I'm gonna ask you to bear with me on some stuff here. So Teresa and Vanity are both gonna be safe. I don't think that's controversial. The top 2 are Ella and Kitty, with Ella getting the win. Once again, this is not a controversial decision. The issue though is with the bottom 3 queens. We have Charity Case. I don't think she would do well here. We have Crystal Versace and River Medway. Neither one of them would do well here. You could make a very strong argument for any of these queens being in the bottom. All of that said, factoring in the runways they had, I think Crystal's Dragon Fruit runway is going to save her from the bottom here, leaving Charity and River in the bottom. Now, the one thing that I fear will be very controversial is keeping the double elimination. I do not think River did well in this lip sync. Her look was atrocious. She took it off, which made it worse. It was a terrible showing. We saw Charity lip sync earlier in the season, and while she was in a very movable outfit both times, we saw her fruit runway when she posted it after the show. That is not a lip sync outfit, and I don't think she would do well. Both queens are getting the chop here, unfortunately. Next episode is the Fugly Ball. It is the final fashion challenge of the season. I know there were a lot of them. Crystal Versace, I think her swimwear look is good. It is definitely fugly, but it also has a unique spin on it, which I appreciate. Crystal's fugly but fashionable look is one of the greatest runways we have ever seen. The presentation was perfect. I think the execution of it could not have been better. Very underrated as far as runways go. Next is Kitty Scott Claus. I think her swimmer look definitely fits the theme. Very well executed. It has a unique spin, but it is still fugly. Definitely what we want to go for here. Her second look, once again, it is very well executed. I love the polka dots. I love the hair. I love the glasses. I think it's just quintessential crazy cat lady. Great job. My one question, and I'm not trying to be rude here, although it may come off that way, did Kitty Scott Claus just bring like a bag of fugly wigs? She seemed oddly prepared for this episode in terms of how many similar wigs she had. I'm not trying to be rude, this is a legitimate question. Next is Ella Day. I think her swimsuit is somewhat on the weaker side. While fugly, it is a bit basic. Her final runway though is very good. It is one of the fuggliest things we have seen. I know I'm using that word a lot, but still. Vanity Milan hit the ground running with this swimsuit. It is, in my opinion, the fuggliest of the swimsuits. I think a bit more of perspective could have been used here to make it a bit further outside of the box. I love the quilting though. Like, I don't know where these queens were finding these swimsuits. Is there a fugly swimwear store somewhere in the UK that got like a lot of business? Her final look, I wouldn't call this fugly. I would just call this bad. It's just not well executed. I think the dress under it looks a lot better. Hair and makeup are great. It's just, instead of going for fugly, this is a bit more ugly. God, that sounds mean. Finally, we have Theresa May. Her swimsuit is definitely a choice. It is fugly. I just don't really like it for the theme. It's not on the same level as the others. Her fugly but fashionable look. She did not make this in the workroom, so that factor is definitely weighted in the critiques. This fits the theme pretty well. Not as well as someone like Kitty or Crystal, but a solid, safe job. If it were made in the workroom, I don't know how this was made though, so I'm not sure how accurately I can critique it. Now, for the actual judging, the top three are going to be Ella, Kitty, and Crystal. Teresa is 4th place this week, but we're at the top 5, so that means she's in the bottom with Vanity. The win is very close between Kitty and Crystal, but for storyline reasons and because of how much I love Crystal's final look, Crystal wins the challenge going 3 for 3 on fashion challenges. Vanity and Teresa lip sync to Scandalous. I don't know how Teresa would do, but seeing her lip syncs prior in the season, Vanity is absolutely smoking her as she would everyone else. Teresa is eliminated, leaving us with a top 4 of Ella, Kitty, Crystal, and Vanity. Since we're only at episode 7, and that's too short for a season, let's do a non-elimination. Episode 7 is the acting challenge. Crystal and Vanity both did very good jobs. This is an underrated acting challenge. For the winners though, we're going with Ella and Kitty. They both did great jobs. Both of them should have won this. Kitty and Ella lip sync to Something New by Girls Aloud. I had never heard of Girls Aloud prior to this episode. I think they're absolutely great though. This lip sync is pretty good, but Kitty is going to get the win. Next is episode 8, which is the roast. Not a thing has changed. This judging was spot on. Ella wins, Kitty is high. Crystal and Vanity are in the bottom. They lip sync to Hallucinate by Dula Peep. Crystal wins, and Vanity is eliminated. Next is episode 9, which is the finale, and these queens are a lot closer than they were on the original season. Ella is in 1st place with 3 wins and a score of 4.13. Kitty is in 2nd place with 3 wins and a score of 3.88. And Crystal is in 3rd place with 3 wins and a score of 3.38. The Hey Sis, It's Christmas remix happens. It is one of the better UK remixes, definitely underrated. Crystal is by far the best, Ella is 2nd, and Kitty is 3rd. With that in mind, no one is getting the chop here. We are doing a top 3. The queens walk the final runway. runway. Ella's dress is the worst thing I have ever seen in my life on Drag Race. Worse than Lala's bag ball look, worse than Selena's signs look. It is the single worst garment to ever grace the stage of Drag Race. Like, Ella could have just said she didn't want to win and just saved us the time. This runway is absolutely terrible. I know I go harsh on this runway a lot. This is like the third time I've talked about it. Absolutely atrocious. It completely destroys Ella's shot at winning the season. All three queens lip sync to You Don't Own Me. Ella gives a terrible performance. Kitty is fine, but Crystal absolutely smokes all of them, to the point that there literally is no other justifiable winner. I can't come up with a justification to crown Ella or Kitty based off this finale. Kitty was good, not great all season, and then had a fine finale. Crystal had some ups and downs, but all in all, did great in like half the challenges, killed the finale. She turned it up when she really needed to, and for those reasons, I'm gonna have her as the winner of this season. This season is not going to be received well. There's nothing they could have done to top UK2. It just wasn't a strong enough cast. They didn't have the chemistry the UK2 queens did. I think this judging would make it be received a bit better. Still not all the way there, though. I know I have my biases, and me crowning Crystal, I'm sure, will be very controversial, but that is all I have for this video. In general, though, I want to thank you all for 2,000 subscribers. While recording this video, I hit the 2,000 mark. I cannot thank you all enough. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, it's Drag Race Rejudged. Do you want gay shit? Well then check out the RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged YouTube channel and hit subscribe.